deadly precision, a covert operation and a hidden enemy. The assassination of Governor Roel Degamo was no simple murder. What really happened in his home on that fateful day, and what dark secrets have been exposed. Keep watching as we uncover the shocking truth behind the sinister forces that led to his death. Welcome back to Dark Case Stories, your destination for chilling true crime stories that delve into the darkest corners of human nature. From unsolved mysteries to notorious serial killers, we explore real-life cases that shock, terrify, and leave you questioning everything. With in-depth research, compelling storytelling, and haunting details, each video will take you deep into the minds of criminals and the stories of their victims. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any episode. The killing was swift, executed with military precision. Multiple gunmen stormed the governor's residence, turning a public event into an ominous bloodbath. But what if this was only part of a greater, classified mystery that nobody was meant to uncover? What you'll discover here will astound you. This wasn't just another assassination. This was a carefully planned, deadly operation designed to conceal a much larger political enigma. Did Governor Degamo know something that made him a target? And why has the truth been hidden so aggressively? On the morning of March 4, 2023, the assassination of Governor Roel Degamo in Negros Oriental sent shockwaves through the nation. The governor, who was hosting a public event at his residence, was gunned down by a group of armed assailants. The attack was not a random act of violence. It appeared to be a meticulously planned, covert operation executed with chilling precision. Multiple gunmen, believed to be highly trained and coordinated, stormed the governor's home, leaving no room for escape. They were able to escape the scene quickly, slipping into the shadows with alarming ease. This brazen act of political violence raised immediate questions about the motives behind it, fueling both local and national outrage. The scale of the attack and the suspected involvement of highly skilled individuals suggested a deeper, darker conspiracy at play, with allegations of political rivalry and corruption surfacing as potential triggers for the crime. The assassination was followed by an intense lockdown, with the authorities scrambling to piece together evidence and determine who was responsible. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this was more than just an isolated event. It was part of a larger, more dangerous political landscape, marked by rising violence and power struggles. This tragic moment in the Philippines' political history left the public grappling with questions that remain unanswered to this day. In the immediate aftermath of Governor Roel Degamo's assassination, the people of Negros Oriental were left in a state of disbelief and shock. His brutal killing during a public event in his own residence sent ripples of fear and confusion through the community. The close-knit region, which had witnessed Degamo's leadership, was grappling with the gravity of the crime. Local residents, many of whom had seen the governor just moments before the attack, struggled to comprehend how such an atrocity could occur in their midst. This public execution sparked an intense lockdown in the area. Security forces rapidly cordoned off key locations, conducting thorough investigations to piece together the crime scene and identify the gunmen involved. The scale of the operation, executed with military precision, left authorities with more questions than answers, fueling an atmosphere of uncertainty and unrest. Public outrage spread quickly, with residents, local leaders and national figures condemning the murder as an attack on democracy itself. Protests erupted across the region, with people demanding justice for the brutal killing. There was widespread speculation about the identity of those responsible, with many pointing to political motives, as the killing was believed to be tied to power struggles and rivalries within the province. Calls for accountability and a swift investigation intensified, while the governor's family and supporters mourned his untimely death. The event left a profound scar on the community, further intensifying fears of political violence and corruption in the country. In addition, the continued search for the assailants heightened tensions as people anxiously awaited answers from the authorities. It was clear that the murder was not just a loss for the family in the province, but a symbol of the growing instability in the Philippines' political landscape. With the investigation ongoing, the people of Negros Oriental and the rest of the nation were left to confront the brutal reality of a political environment where violence had become a tragic tool in the pursuit of power. As the investigation into the assassination of Governor Roel Degamo unfolded, it became apparent that the conspiracy behind the murder was far more complex than initially believed. Law enforcement and investigators began to connect the dots, leading them to powerful individuals with potential ties to the crime. What initially seemed like a random act of violence started to reveal a much darker, more sinister picture. Through forensic evidence, witness statements, and intelligence reports, authorities uncovered that the gunmen who carried out the execution were likely part of a well-organized group with ties to former military personnel and private individuals with vested political interests. The precision and timing of the attack indicated that this was not a spur-of-the-moment killing, but a carefully planned operation executed with military-like coordination. The fact that the attackers managed to escape so quickly only added to the suspicion of a broader conspiracy at play. As the investigation delved deeper, the connections between the murder and a long-standing power struggle in the region became more evident. It was suggested that the assassination was linked to Degamo's political ambitions and his opposition to certain powerful figures. Allegations began to surface that these figures, some of whom held significant political influence, had a personal or financial stake in the governor's downfall. Shocking revelations continued to emerge, with several arrests made, including individuals with suspected ties to influential families and political factions. The involvement of former military men in the attack raised troubling questions about the extent of political violence in the Philippines, suggesting that Degamo's murder was not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of political motivated killings that often go unpunished. Further investigations revealed that the motive behind the murder was likely connected to Governor Degamo's efforts to assert control over key areas of the province and his opposition to corruption within local government. His position as a vocal critic of political dynasties and his pursuit of policies that threatened certain entrenched interests made him a target for those who saw his leadership as a threat to their power and wealth. In the midst of these revelations, the public grew increasingly enraged and demanded that justice be served. With the full scope of the conspiracy beginning to take shape, many feared that the true masterminds behind the killing might never be brought to justice due to their political clout. The investigation thus became a high-stakes battle between uncovering the truth and exposing the powerful forces determined to keep it hidden. This dark chapter in the Philippines' political history highlighted the dangers of power struggles, corruption, and the lengths some are willing to go to eliminate their enemies, raising questions about the future of governance in the country. As we've unraveled this shocking and tragic event, we're left with profound questions and a sense of unease. The assassination of Governor Degamo has exposed the dark undercurrents of political violence in our society, a stark reminder that power and control often come at an unbearable cost. This tragic loss echoes the cries for reform and grief, and bloody proceedings with greedy hands putting pressures poured on them for the barest of consideration. Thank you for watching and joining us as we sought to bring light to this heartbreaking story. If this story impacted you or raised questions about safety, leadership, or justice, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep exploring stories that reveal the truths behind headlines, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our next episode.